Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Doc here from North America. Another fun filled day. Hooray for us, TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. Let's rock it on. All right, let's see what's going on here today. What do we have up there now? Oh, okay, we're looking at a. What are we looking at right now? Where are we at? I can see the J4X. Let's see, where is the Chicago Quant? Because it's somewhere around here. I guess that has to go down here, and that goes up there. Okay, there we go. And let's take a peeky at what's going on with the Swiss this morning. Right there. Let's close that. And let's put Swiss. What do we have up there now? We have the NASDAQ 100, the Tech 100. That's what that is. All right, let's get over to the Swiss franc against the dollar. The Swiss saltine. There we are. And what do we got going on there? 92.32. So we're seeing just a little bit more weakness in there, and that means that the dollar is going down. Let's take a look at it over on J4X. Right there. Same situation. Let's put that up on the screen. Let's get the fact check spreadsheet up there. There's that. There is that. Okay, we got to move that to 2. There we are. There we go. That looks pretty good. And, oop, too big. No, way too big. All right, let's try that again. And there it is. Oh, no, wait a minute. That is the OBSOS. Okay, that's cool. There we are. Let's move that up again, like so. And there, and let's see how it looks on the chat, the YouTube itself. Let me go over to the YouTube and open that up. Let's see, search. I was watching something on the Sapphire project. They have built an incredible energy system that's clean, puts out no radiation, that reuses hydrogen, and it's a emulation of the electric universe of the sun. That's right. The sun is an electrical process, not a nuclear one. I was involved paying attention to that at the moment. So let's just jump back over to, where is it at? Right there. Now I can see the chat line, and let's see what we got there. Nobody asking any questions, so that's not too bad. I haven't not answered a question. So yeah, that's pretty good. And it looks like we're all starting off slow here this morning, so that's not bad either. That's usually what Mondays look like. People start to, oh, we got a trade, or we're involved in this. Right, exactly. So let's just, so there you go. You can see the Swiss franc moving down, which means the dollar is falling. Interest rates are dropping here in the States. So that's kind of interesting in its own right, you know. The Fed has come in and started buying up bonds galore. You know what they do here, and I'm gonna repeat this, and a lot of you who see this as a video, since we don't have a lot of people watching, what the Fed does here in the States is they lend money to the banks for free, and then the banks are allowed to go out and buy bonds overnight and make money off of them, and then hand them back the money the next day or keep it. Depends on what the Fed wants to do that particular day. So, in other words, they got so much money, they can just lend it out for free. That's how much they have. Yeah, just lend it out for free. Whereas in Europe, they charge you. So in other words, they say, hey, forget about it. You know, in Europe, you want to buy a German bond, you're going to pay us. That's right. I'm going to buy a bond from the German Republic, and I got to pay them interest to own that bond. Not only do I buy the bond, I got to pay interest on the bond. I pay interest to Germany. Tell me how crazy that is. That's 5,000 years of history, of financial history, thrown out the window, that's for sure. So here in the States, they like, you know, we got so much do-re-mi, we're just going to lend it to the banks, and the banks are going to buy bonds for free. You know, in other words, they take that free money, buy bonds, and then they get interest back at the same time. What a crazy idea, huh? You know, just because they did it for 5,000 years, why are they doing it again today? Question mark. All right, let's drift over to, and that's what looking at the Swiss franc says about the whole thing. Isn't that something? Then we jump over to the euro. You see the euro's firm this morning again. They tried to push it down a little bit there on Friday, as you can see. And let's see how it looks like on the J4X. Euro on our wall. Right there. And it's just pushing up a little bit. It means obviously the dollar is going down, just like the Swissy franc confirmed. And then you can see we went into a weekly buy last week, which is kind of cool. So, you can buy some weakness in there when we're in daily buys, and we are in a daily buy. So maybe it'll go up and hit like that blue line there. Let's see if we can contract that down. Move that down a little bit more. This is something I like to play with. And right there, the blue line. So maybe what it'll do is it's supported off the red line. Maybe it'll come up to the blue line, hold up on there, something like that. Maybe we'll get up to the 1990s. Maybe 120 would be cool. Now, I think I'm going to go to J4X first, but I think the cable, I thought, showing some real strength this morning also. Or when the 137s. You know, Doc, I get excited. The moment I see it go near a daily buy, I just automatically go, 140. That's it, 140. It's going to, how some people here actually, Doc, how high do you think it goes? And I usually say, oh, no idea. I have different tools I can look at, but overall, it's just in an uptrend, and I just try to ride the uptrend, and that's what I do. But no, not with the cable. I'm convinced it's undervalued all the time. Yeah, there we go. There's cable on the Chicago Quant. Right there, and you can see it's trying to lift up. We got a volatility signal kicking out. But this is the disturbing point right here, and that's the weekly signal. We're still on a sell. And the white line can't even remotely pierce the minus nonlinear time manifold. That's the two lines. These are what I call nonlinear time manifolds. And one's a plus one and one's a minus one. And here we're looking at on the minus side, and it's not even remotely trying to challenge that at the moment. So until that starts to move up, I'm not that confident in the 140, but it's always, I get excited. 140, 142. It's the Commonwealth. That's the lead currency in the Commonwealth of 2 billion people. So if everybody can get excited with China and the 1 billion, you would think that they just want to marry the 2 billion if they're going to be excited and romantic about the 1 billion. And that is exactly what's going on there. Now that we've brought up the Chinese, let's have a conversation about that. They're supposedly putting out a crypto, and all the data, everybody's in love with the Chinese. They like that slave labor, and they like that genocide stuff going on. No idea in my mind why they do. That's insanity to me. But the news media in America just loves China. And so they put out data on their cryptocurrency that they're supposedly putting out, and everybody gets goo-goo eyes around here in the United States and the media side. CNN and Bloomberg, they just love it, love it. So they put out the data, and let's see if we can show you some of the crazy that's going on with that data. I was like, what? As the moment they announced it, I'm on my webinar here saying, just another, story that makes no sense. Them having cryptocurrency. What are they going to do? Tag everything? It's even worse. Their cryptocurrency, let me put it up on the page here. Their cryptocurrency has a time limit. It expires. It's like a bond, or an option. It actually expires. And so as much as I said that, why would you buy a cryptocurrency from the People's Bank of China when you know that all they're going to do is, investigate it or control it? And sure enough, they put that out, and that's where it's at. Let me find it. I'm going to find it and put it up on the screen here for you. I did save it. And isn't that funny? I mean, these media organizations are so in love with China. And, oh, my God, they got a crypto now. You got to love China. It's like their crypto is got an expiration date on it. And they said they'll increase and decrease the expiration on when the People's Bank of China thinks that they need people to spend more money. They will extend the life of their crypto. And when they don't want people spending money, they will cut the life of the crypto. It's like, what? Oh man, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, if I invented it, everybody'd be saying you're crazy. This is fact. This is not fiction. All right, I'm heading there now. I've parked it in a folder. I'm going to go pull it out of that folder, and then you'll be able to see this. Let's see. What a hoot that is. Oh my God. Let's see. China. There it is. I got it. Here it comes. Here it comes. There we go. There is. China digital yuan comes with an expiration date. It's been a long time coming, and now it's almost here. Last August, we reported that China's Commerce Ministry has released fresh details of a pilot program for the country's central bank digital currency. This is for all. I'm a big supporter of cryptocurrencies, and you know, it's a new asset class. But please don't pay attention to this Chinese, scheme, another goofy scheme of theirs to be expanding into the several metropolitan areas, including Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macro, Great Bay Area, Beijing. Anyway, that's where it's going to be. The box timeline of PBOC digital currency development. And then fast forward a few months when China's preparations to roll out the digital yuan gather pace. They reported in October China was poised to give a legal backing to the launch of their own sovereign digital currency. And let's see if we can find the exact expiration thing here. It was fascinating. I want you to see it. It'll expire. See, so winners were required to download a digital RMB in order to receive a red packet with 200 digital yuan, $30, which then they can spend at over 3,000 designated retailers. How do you like that? They define where you can spend it. District of China Day. The idea was not to only test the technology involved, but boost consumer spending in the wake of the COVID-19. So as I suggested months ago, it's just like a credit card. That's all it is. In this case here, unlike traditional central bank account-based currencies such as reserves, it's a bit like Bitcoin, China's digital currency will be controlled by the country's central bank and will be instantly made available at a moment's notice at anyone who can receive it. Okay, and since China's adoption of digital central bank tokens is expected to be seamless, as most nations' digital payments already pass through the companies, it'll go to the Tencent and ALI, PayPal, or whatever they have over there. And still one thing was missing, a stamp of approval by the gatekeeper itself. I guess that's the PBOC. 2 months. China got that too, reported SWIFT. Okay, so the SWIFT system is going to pick up on it. And this thing there's a point there where it says it'll actually accelerate the life of it when the People's Bank of China wants it to it's in this mess of crazy. Here it goes. Digital yuan is also trackable, adding another tool of China's heavy state surveillance. The government deploys hundreds of millions of facial recognition cameras to monitor its population. So this digital currency will make it possible to both meter out and collect fines as soon as infrastructure was detected. So they'll just debit you if you do something wrong that they don't like. Oh yeah, this has no relationship to Bitcoin or Ethereum or nothing else. Trust me, traders, stay clear of this beast. This is not anything legitimate. All right, so just stay clear of it. It's a dangerous thing to pretend, and that's what China loves to do, pretend. And when you have the media, especially across the United States, just loving it, it's going to drag in some people who actually think that they can buy China, crypto, and they're going to find out that, if the Chinese government doesn't like that you didn't spend it for the last 2 months, they may just erase it. Boom, your assets are gone. And they'll give it to somebody else who will spend it. And that is the China crypto. Crazy. Ah, cool. There we go. All right. Now we get back to where did we leave off at? The cable, right? That's where we were. I just had to show you the crazy, and like I said, the media will be, Bloomberg and everybody else will be like telling you how wonderful it is. It'll be, oh my God, CNN and CNBC. They'll let one person get on there and tell you the truth, and it'll be like 9 people telling you some type of fantasy there. And that's what Doc is here all about, is to get the real data out every day, not the fake data out. And so there it is right there. All right. Let's jump over to, where are we at here? That is cable. Let's go take a look at the Turkish lira. Still kind of down a little bit, but still in a buy. But look at that weekly. I was hoping that the weekly would, go up this week here and go after our little dotted line there, but can't get the thing to go. And we got into the daily buy on Friday, and it's went up and it's gone down, and it's just going sideways down at this point. And the weekly, it's been in a weekly sell since this crazy pop, and we get into a buy, and it did jump over that week, and well, it was in the daily buy, it was in the weekly buy, and then it rolled over again. That's why we watch it at the end of the week and mark it at the end of the week. And so this action here is whatever, we know what the news was, the removing of the person in charge of the central bank. And since then, they've set up a whole new, I guess you could call it a channel or a zone or an envelope. You can see the Turkish lira is just hanging up there. And we keep on waiting for our numbers to give us a more clarity out of it. And we keep on believing that it's supposed to go to the little cute little yellow dotted lines. But so far, no go. It's a no go. Hey, 44. Let's see. What's shaking? How you doing this morning? TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. I think you know what is fully convertible, currency, etc. Tell me why Kasam is gaining. What is Kasam? Let me go look and see what this is. We'll go, is that a currency? And if it is, we'll go find it, and we will see why it is gaining. Okay, right there. I'm searching it right now. It's a Japanese Yahoo Kasama. Kasama price. Kasama price, let's see. Coinbase is the safest, most secure place to store top cryptos. We obsessed with secure. Okay, so this is sounds like it's a some type of deposit thing, right? Live Kasam prices today is $432 US. Let's see, with a 24-hour trading volume of what is that? Is that 190 million? Nice. It's down 1.17 in the last 24 hours. Okay. So it's the cryptocurrency that in Japanese. I see. Okay. Coinbase is the safest, most secure place to store to top cryptos. We obsessed with security, so you don't have to be. Let's see, 24-hour trading day. I guess it's a place you can trade it too. Kasam price chart. Let's see. Let's see if we can put that up on the board. That'd be interesting. Let's take a look at that. That's cool. Look, I think that any crypto that's like Ethereum or Bitcoin that has an independence from any central bank is cool. And I guess Kasam is not part of the Bank of Japan. I imagine it's independent. And that would make sense. Let's see, it says KUS. Let's put that up there. KUS AM A. Oh, okay. It's a fictional character. Cool. All right, let's go back to that again. Blew that up, didn't I? Let's see. Search again. And what did we do? We went and where did we get this? We went to. I'm going to put that chart up on the screen. Let's see. Kasam price coin. Kasam crypto. Yes, there we are. And we'll find one more. Let's see. So Kasam price chart. Alright, Kasam. Pre-production review. Let's see, let's do this. Kasam. This machine, let's see, Kasam price. We're just going to put Kasam price in there. See if we can get the same chart I got up on this other computer. Yeah, future prices of asset predicted to be. They're thinking it's going to go to 1,000 after a year. digital coin. It says here that Passam prediction forecast current. It's trading at 4. Let's see if we can get that up on there. I got another machine here that's showing me other things. Go to website. Go to the website. There we go. All right, so here it is here. See if we can put this up there. There we go. And there's the volume. Nice. And I'm assuming I'm trying to read all of it, but it sounds like it's not part of the People's Bank of not People's the Bank of Japan. On the largest exchange. Cool. There's the chart. Interesting. I like cryptos. I think that cryptos are legitimate. I think that there's no problem with them anymore. I know that it's a pyramid. I understand that part, and I don't have any problem with that solely because pretty much everything is really a pyramid on some level, and people don't. In other words, when you're buying Apple Computer, the stock, right? I mean, it's trading at $128 a share or something like that, and it's like 4 times its earnings or something like that. So it's a multiple. It's a pyramid in its own way. Now, what it does give a dividend out, so funds can buy it, but everybody's buying it hoping that's going to go higher in price, which is what a pyramid is basically. And so it's okay. That's okay. That's it's supply and demand. And obviously, if it's a good product, more buyers are going to come in, and you're going to have less supply to sell it to them, and it's going to push the price up. And when you have more sellers than buyers, then it pushes the price down. So I don't really have a paranoia like someone was saying to me last week in the webinar. Yeah, but it's a pyramid, and it's like, for Bitcoin. It's like, yeah, that's all right. It's just, it's in the case of Bitcoin, it has a price limit in the sense of how much inventory is going to be out there. And so it's a group. It's just like a currency, a physical currency. In other words, everybody says, okay, yeah, the dollar is this. We trust the dollar this, and we think this is better than other currencies. And so more people are buying it. And that's still a pyramid, but it's just, it is what it is. And the stock market is a pyramid on some level. The only difference is that they pay dividends, and they're not burning up all the assets. See, that's the thing, is that a pyramid, normally people look at a pyramid, in this case with the cryptos, and they're saying there's no asset value there you're buying. And I agree. Of course you're not. You're buying a belief. Just like when you buy a country's currency. You're hoping that think about the Turkish lira. Perfect example is the Turkish lira. The Turkish lira, since we've started paying attention to it, let's move this off the screen. The Turkish lira, is way worse than, a cryptocurrency and so forth in this sense. Here, let's go to J4X and put the Turkish lira up there. And let's look at the history of it. All those assets of Turkey have not been able to save the asset value of the currency itself. And that's an interesting point of view that a lot of people don't pay attention to. So in other words, okay, here's the Turkish lira right there. And the same thing happened with the South African rand. And the same thing happened to the ruble. But it doesn't make them, bad, in the sense of just because everything's a pyramid. Let's see. Oh, let's put this in as a weekly too. Matter of fact, we should go to a monthly. There's a monthly of the. Come on, you can do this, machine. There we go. And you can see here, and this is just looking back to since the prime minister / president now took office. The thing was trading in the ones, okay. And look at it now. It's trading in the 8s. 8 times up in loss of value. So in other words, at one time you could buy 1 Turkish lira to $1, or 1.5 Turkish liras to $1. Now you have to take 8 liras to buy $1. Okay. Now they got tons of assets. Don't you think that they have more assets than Bitcoin? I say yeah. But is it helping them? Is it helping their asset? Does it justify being long or short? See what I'm saying there? Oh, hey, Janos. There was no pop-up for this stream on 4x3. It's the Economics 101. in high school, right, in Europe, teaches already that the history and meaning of money. Quite often, people don't know what makes value. Exactly. Yeah, Gavin Wood. Let me think. Gavin Wood. That name sounds familiar. I'll have to look it up. I do recognize the name. I just don't remember why. And so, I mean, there's a perfect example. Look at the Turkish lira. Oh, let me see if you can see it all. I got it too big here. There we go. Now you can see it better. There you go. You're going to see this. Here's the Turkish lira. All those assets of Turkey can't protect the asset value. See that? So at one point you're looking at it down here. It's Aragon becomes prime minister, and then he becomes president here or something like that. I think he becomes president right around. No, it's like back in here somewhere. He becomes president, and look at that. I mean, this thing takes off. All those assets, and they can't. Their currency has lost 8 times in value. Okay, and so now you look at like a Bitcoin in the reverse. Here we can do that too. Here's Bitcoin on J4X, and Dukascopy, a good supporter of cryptocurrencies. There it is. Right there's Bitcoin, and I'll fill in there. There you go, and it's going the other way. That's the other way. So Bitcoin has gone from 5,000 in value to now a Bitcoin is worth 60,000. 6 times 8 is let's see. So yeah, look at that. I mean, it's almost the same thing as it's almost in many ways, it's almost the inverse relationship to the Turkish lira. Almost an inverse relationship. That's 85. It's like 7 times. I guess 7 times 5. So it's close. It's very close relationship. Isn't that fascinating? Didn't ever thought about it like that until just now. So 8 times 5 is 40, and it's and if it was at 40,000, you could say that it outperformed the Turkish lira enormously well. But and Janos, thank you, totally right. It's Gavin Wood is a British computer programmer. He co-founded Ethereum. Oh, okay. I was talking with remember God, why am I running a blank here all of a sudden? I talk to him every so often. He used to do webinars on Dukascopy. Wilco. I was talking to Wilco. Wilco's still totally into. Wilco was involved in currencies, and he was involved in did webinars here at Dukascopy. And when the cryptos got going, he jumped in with both feet and both hands. And and Wilco and I talk about. We chat every so often. The way you and I do, Giannis. Here and there, every so often we end up chatting away for on texting. Let's see. Wood served in the Ethereum Foundation, first chief technology officer. Well, their technologies. Wilco was saying that their technology in blockchain is even better. Let's see. 12th president of Turkey incumbent assumed August 24. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I just know that Ethereum. I think they've legalized Ethereum on the trading here in the States, where you have Bitcoin trading, and I think Ethereum is supposedly going to be listed on one of the exchanges around here. So the Securities Exchange Commission, or the CFTC, has opened the doorway. No, thank you, Giannis. Just it helps me out to be able to reflect more, like on J4X and so forth, and we get a visual. That's what Daniel does when Daniel's on the webinar. He ends up finding information for us to be able to stare at. Remember, this is not a dictatorship here. This is a trading. This is like an electronic trading pit. Different ideas are welcome. Disagreements are welcome. You can tell me what you think, and just because I don't agree with it does not mean you're wrong. Okay, you can think something, and it doesn't mean if I don't agree with it, it still doesn't mean that you're wrong. I might be wrong. This is a trading pit. And so and Janos knows that. That's why Dukascopy is nice to me. And yeah, and I think they're legalizing something over here. Ethereum, supposedly the blockchain technology is really good. I think that's overdone myself, as an old computer guy. I really think that I think the conversation about the protection, is overdone in the sense of its necessity. But no doubt in a wired world where everybody can connect into other people's information through certain ways and technologies, that makes the blockchain very important. But it's kind of like understanding every moving part in your automobile. It's like I don't really need to know where each part was manufactured, or and so forth, and how long it's going to last. And I guess if you were living in the wilderness and you're depending on a machine, then there's not a mechanic down the street because you're in the middle of the wilderness and you're trying to travel, say, 300 miles in the wilderness, or 5,000 kilometers in the wilderness. It's more important to understand the workings of your machine. But when you're living in a modern society, chances are a lot less that you need to know each particular detail about the mechanics of the machine. I think that's probably why I look at the blockchain and I go, okay, it's an encryption. I mean, and to a great extent, computer science, I have to say, I have to be honest with you all. In computer science, it really hasn't advanced as far as everybody thinks it has. Our computer science has advanced in processing power and memory and storage, but it has not really advanced in philosophy and technology, in coding. So, encryptions and so forth, they've been around a long time. It's just now that you can go out even further because we've increased the productivity of the processors, and we've increased the productivity of the storage, and we found better ways to store data. Be it what's that way that everybody gets all lovey-dovey in their heads about quantum computing? We've been doing that since the 80s and 90s. We've been doing quantum computing with hydrogen, or with different what was it? Was it carbon? I forget what we used. We used some element and used molecules to store data, and we've gotten better at it. But the philosophy of computer science itself, cybernetics, has not really grown as deep as people would think it has. I got a friend who's he's a world-class computer scientist. And he's a provost of one of the prestigious universities here in the United States, and also at the institute. I don't want to use his name. And one of the institutes in Europe, I'm going to say it that way. I was almost accidentally mentioned the city that the institute is, that he's a world-renowned scientist at. And so, him and I would talk about this days upon days, years upon years. Matter of fact, when you see that bad code, when Doc opens something up, let's see if I can do that. When Doc opens something up, him and I even, I'm not going to open it up, but when you see those pink boxes kick out, I'm not going to open it up right now. I guess you can go back and look, but that's data that him and I were working on that I just never got rid of, and I don't use it anymore, and that's why it's saying it's an error, because it's not linking anymore. And so, I hear the Ethereum is supposedly like the best blockchain or encrypted technology out there. Wilco and I were talking for like 2 hours about a month and a half ago about it, and without a doubt, if Wilco thinks it is, more than likely it is. He left Dukascopy trading and just jumped right into the cryptos and stopped doing the webinars because he saw 6 years ago he saw that the cryptos were the value of the cryptos. So, I'm a big supporter of the cryptos. They're a good tool. They're, and matter of fact, I say to Robin all the time also at the same time, the reason why metals markets don't trade like they used to anymore, in other words, the speculation in them is a lot less, is because current metals traders have gotten frustrated that metals don't follow the calamity the way they should, whereas cryptos do. So in other words, metals are supposed to trade as like a crypto. They're supposed to be the opposite side of the dollar and the currencies and the stock markets. They're supposed to be the other side of that. Instead, they're lockstepped. When the dollar goes up, the metals go down. When the metals go up, the dollar goes down. When the stock markets go up, I think the dollar goes down and the metals go up. And it's like, wait a minute, no. The idea is you're buying gold and silver because you think things are going to go to hell in a handbasket. You're not buying it because you think that the stock market's going to be healthy and the dollar is going to be fine. Or the pound is going to be fine. It's supposed to be an alternative. And see, now the cryptos have really taken that position now. They are the alternative away from central banks, and they're only like they're only up to like 2 trillion, I think, at this point, totally out of, if you took all the Bitcoin in the world and I think all the Ethereum and all these other ancillary ones out there, Doggy Dog or whatever it is, I think they're in the 2 trillion area now. I mean, look at the European Union alone has 18 trillion piled away in negative return. So trust me. I've said this in the webinars here. Trust me. I will spot when the central banks are starting to get antsy about the cryptos because they will shut them down in a heartbeat. And that's what the problem is that there's, they're supposed to be an alternative, but what they'll do is they'll make it illegal for you to own them in a particular country or be able to exchange them for their currency. They'll do something, and it'll be pretty obvious that it's coming. When it starts to happen, you'll see prices starting to dip in the cryptos. You'll hear talk questioning, are they going to legalize this thing or illegalize this? And that's pretty much how it's all going to play out in the end. So that's the gist of it all when it comes to the cryptos. I don't have a problem with them because everything is some type of pyramid on some level. And that's the best way to look at that. All right. Where did we leave off? I think we were looking at the Turkish lira, right? And then we were looking at the Bitcoin. So now let's just put that back into a day mode on J4X. There we are. And let's jump over to the Canadian. That's usually where we go. And then from there we take a look at the energies. There we go. And there's the Canadian. And there it is on J4X. It looks like it's firm today a little bit. You can see here, the Hinky Ashy is pushing a red bar at the moment. And then you can see here, this is the plain bar. But we have a red dot just like the Hinky Ashy is red. See, that's what the Hinky Ashy is there for. It's supposed to emulate the red dots of ours. And so it does it about 68% of the time, which is a lot better than none. You can see here we went into a sell on Friday, and it's up a little bit, and it's still moving down. We've been in a weekly sell, but look at that. We're flirting with the weekly buy this week already. That's interesting. Good for them. Because we've been in, let's fix that. We've been in a weekly buy in this product for, let's see what it is right there. All the way back to here. So what is that? That's line 20 for, I'm sorry, we've been in a weekly sell for 9 weeks now. So it's flirting with the weekly buy. So if that gets in a weekly buy and this thing goes back into a daily buy, this thing's going to start losing value against the dollar again and start heading up. And Janos, thank you for jumping in there. It's always nice to know that that you're around. Janos is definitely skilled in many ways. He's a true student of this marketplace, just like myself. We're always trying to figure out this market, and he's the head analyst there for Dukascopy. And we're always kicking ideas around when things look really crazy. And also, as much as he hates his old video, I still like his old video of trying to understand how to trade markets on fundamental news. I noted Janos was like, It doesn't work as well anymore. But you know what? No one. You know what the problem is, Janos, is nobody else is talking about it. At least you were talking about it, and you put a video out on it, and it had great validity. So don't beat it up as much as you do. I think it still has value to it, as far as I'm concerned. You should put it back out there and push it. I think people should know that they can't trade on fundamentals the way they used to. It's an important factor. All right, I know. I always say that about it. That's how I feel about it. If it's telling the truth, it's telling the truth. I hate the truth to be washed away. And Janos is telling the truth. All right, where are we at here? Okay, there's Canadian. So let's jump over to NASCAD now. So, and we interpret the action in the Canadian, since it's trying to move up a little bit, means that the oil might be sideways to down a little. And I haven't even turned that computer on to see where oil is. Let's go over to New Zealand Canadian pairs trade. Do that on J4X here. Where are you? I just passed you. I know I did. There it is. There's NASCAD, the loonie. And it's trading at 88 and change. And you can see it's going down. So that means that oil is probably having some pressure on it at the same time. Let's take a look at it over on Chicago Quant. It's around here somewhere. There it is. It's doing the same thing as the Canadian. Okay, so it's up just a little bit. So the oil probably is sideways up. Let's take a look at oil. And there is the June contract. Oh, they're marching up. That's better than sideways and up. That's up. That'd be up. Let's give it a refresh. Where's the refresh? Nah. I'm going to do this instead. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There we are. Just do a Control R. Where are you? Come here, Mr. Mouse. There we go. Control R. Okay, there we go. So we're at the highs of the day on crude oil. On a buy on Friday. Speaking of which, I put the 1 in the wrong spot. No, it's there. There it is. And the buy on Friday. There it is. And oh yes, and that's what it is. It closed in a weekly sell on Friday also, so it's a neutral position at the moment. And we'll see how long it takes for that to turn back up again. The crude oil is, you can see it has sold down in here. Took a while. I mean, we were in a weekly buy in that product. You can see all the way back since November, we were in a weekly buy in the 40s. So we've just broken into a weekly sell. Let's see how that trend goes now. See if it lasts for just a week or it takes on weeks upon weeks or what. That's how we trade around here, traders. You know, we watch the math and see how it goes. That's the name of the game. This is quantitative trading here. All right. And then take a look at natural gas right there. Natural gas is flirting with the daily buy again today. And look at that. The weekly's looking good. Now, where we are, we're in April, right? Interesting to see the the natural gas market show so much strength this time of the year. It's been a very good product. It's really interesting. Ever since they got rid of that charlatan, it was holding up the marketplace. You know, it was treating things. There was a Canadian hedge fund for like a couple of years, and they didn't know he was buying back months with other companies, but it was his company. But they thought it was other investors, and so we had, you know, like natural gas trading in the 6s and 7s and things like that. It was exploding in value. And then finally someone finally discovered that the biggest fund trading this stuff was not only trading it, but they owned like the second and third and fourth supposedly different funds that were trading it were all one fund. And then they realized that he had propped up the market, and then you know, natural gas fell apart. You know, it fell from the 7s and 8s down to the 2s and the 3s. And so, you know, that's like the food for thought. You know, where cryptos, it's a wide open game basically. You know, and stocks the same thing. It's pretty much wide open. Hey Maxine, how you doing? Let's see, what are you looking for? Dollar TL will be 17 in near future. The dollar, Turkish lira will be 17.18. And right now it's what, 8, right? Why do you think it's going to be 17, 18? You're saying it right now. Let's go back to that. I'm curious. I'm interested. Let's see. Where is that at? Let's put it up on J4X again. So right now, Turkish lira is 8. You can see it on Dukascopy there. 8, 11, 81. You think it's going to 18? That wouldn't surprise me any. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, under Aragon, it's gone from like 1.5, 2 to 8. So, I just saw something come up on the Skype. Okay, Nicole took off the day. Cool. I hope she's enjoying the 3-day weekend. So you think, Maxine, you think that the Turkish lira is going to explode up again? That wouldn't surprise me at all. It does seem to be acting very strange at the moment. Normally by now we would have kind of made back the loss that it made in our math, and it's only made half of it back, and that's really odd in its own right. So something's brewing there. Is he spending like every dime that Turkey has to hold their currency up? It will. That's what I say on candle agreements on charts. Okay. Okay. So the candlesticks are saying that it's going to go to 19. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Yeah, I mean, didn't we see? Didn't like? I'm going to go over to the South African rand. There's a couple good examples out there that you're totally right. Like the South African rand against the dollar. Where's that at? Where is it at? Right there. There it is. And let's look at that on a monthly basis. And then I guess when Mandela took over, it started to collapse, because they're all socialists. So, and you're not going to get a capitalist currency to function right, when you have socialists, involved. So you can see, I think they changed the currency too, didn't they, to hide the damage that it did. So I guess at one point it was at 40. And then they changed the currency here, and Dukascopy's still recording it. And you can see it went from when they changed it down at the 2-3 area. It's now has gotten as high as the 17 area. So yeah, I mean those candles make sense. And then look at the ruble. Now the ruble, that's a little different story. Because I'm a big fan of the ruble. I think it's undervalued, not overvalued. Let me find the dollar ruble. Now, dollar ruble went from 4 from the Soviet Union to like 14 or 15 or something like that. That was what long-term capital management had problems with. Let's see, that fell in. And then, they've got the Federal Reserve and the socialists here fighting with them. As far as our communists are concerned here in America, we're the smart communists, and the Soviets were the dumb communists. And so you can see here it went from the 23s back in 08 all the way up to the 85s or something like that. So yeah, it makes sense, Maxine. I agree with you there. There's a great potential for that to occur. Yeah, I don't. That does not surprise me at all. Under leadership of Aragon, it just seems to have almost one real direction, and that is up. And so, I mean, if the ruble can go from 20 to 85, and the South African rand can go from, where's it at? Let me find it again right there. Can go from 2 to, was that 17 or 18? Then the Turkish lira could do any of those things. I think you're right about that. Yeah, I think that's very legitimate point of view. Disappointing one in the sense that the population themselves are the ones that pay for it. Like, not everybody, in the United States, we don't have much of a problem with inflation because we have such supply of everything. We have 9, 10 different car manufacturers, and we have 20, 30 different food manufacturers, and so forth. And as much as they may not be giants, globally, they're productive enough to do a lot of things here, so they don't have to buy foreign materials to manufacture, which we have. We're the largest, grain manufacturer, and we're one of the largest manufacturers in dozens of other things. So we don't have to take our currency and go buy somebody else's. Imagine if all of a sudden we had to go to a country that didn't like the dollar. It would get expensive. We would feel the inflation, whereas we don't have that problem here. Whereas South Africa, to a certain extent, does. And so the same thing with the ruble and so forth, and so on and so on. Not everybody is able to produce as much as we do. That's that capitalism side of us. Our socialists hate it. Oh my God. They think, I've seen them write in Wired magazine, if Joe Stalin of the old Soviet Union only had a computer, he could have made communism work right. That's in Wired magazine, no less. Oh my God. Where do they get these crazy ideas? Anyway, don't they understand the guy would have killed, instead of 32 million, he probably would have killed like 75 million. Ugh. He would have been able to, target his enemies even better. So he would not have fun on our webinar. He doesn't like the idea of everybody else having an opinion. There's only one opinion when it came to Joe Stalin. So, and matter of fact, was it Draghi came out over the weekend and said that about Erdogan of Turkey. Oh man, were they unhappy about that one? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, what's that? That's neat. Dukascopy webinars: capitalism and no land wars in U.S. and excellent soil and natural resources. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's I'm unhappy about the what do you call it? The central bank printing so much and putting us in debt more. I mean, I'm not happy about that at all. None of us are, especially us old traders. We find that to be disappointing, at many times, But it is what it is. Oh, that's what that is. Is that a warning? Let's see what that is. I got a warning from somebody. Let me see where that is. They don't like whatever I put out. Oh, wow. Okay, that's fascinating. Oh my God. It was an astronomical thing, and I got a warning from it, from maybe Facebook? Wow, I got a warning about it. I never get a warning. That's so weird. Wow. Ah, okay. Yeah, I just not only know, what happened, I just got a warning on I put something out about Planet 9 or Planet X. You know how there's a wobble in the solar system? And there's always every so often they make movies and so forth trying to figure out the wobble. And so, in other words, there's some missing mass, okay? There's some missing mass out of the calculations of our orbits of our planets in our solar system. And so every so often you hear about Planet 9 or Planet X or, something like that, And then in modern physics, they try to blame it on a possible black hole somewhere that we can't see. So anyway, someone put out a physicist put out a thing about it about 4 or 5 days ago, and I published it on my Facebook. And I just got a warning, a nasty warning from Facebook, which I never get. I never get those things. I mean, they tell me, they'll fact check me. Support message about your comment. No one else can you see your comment. Oh wow, they blocked it. How about that? I've never had that happen to me. I put stuff out there. It's called the Watchers. See options. No one else can see your comment. We have these. Would you believe when you did that, your Dukascopy thing, Janos? Facebook did that to me at the same time on that subject. I published that like 3 days ago. It says we have these standards to prevent things like false advertisement, fraud, and security breaches. Your comment goes against our community standard on spam. I like spam with eggs. Wow. Far out. Was that like, that's so weird. Just as you put up the Dukascopy thing. That is so wild. Yeah, censorship at its finest. Welcome to America. You ever see those things where they put the hammer and sickle through, is it the A or the C or something? The E or something here in America? And they put the hammer and sickle through it. It might be the C, America. Yeah, so it's with the C in America, and they put a hammer and sickle through it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yeah, so anyway, this physicist, the guy's a physicist. He's got a PhD from a legitimate university. You know, it's not like the bubblegum stuff I am. You know, it's like a legitimate university. He's got a PhD in physics, and he published an answer. He believes that our solar system has a third brown dwarf, and it's on a very big elliptic orbit that we can't spot. And since gas dwarfs are really hard to spot with telescopes. I mean, we see R2 in our solar system because they're just right around the corner, but they're really hard to spot. Red dwarfs and brown dwarfs are really hard to spot. Only infrared can spot them, and like 200 light years out, that type of thing, or 2,000 light years out, or something like that. No, I think 200 light years out. It's that close. You can't spot these things like 200 light years out, which is a hop, skip, and a jump compared to everything out there. I mean, I'm following 2 or 3 different stars that are like 16 light years away and 8 light years away, and I mean, watching, they're ahead of us in the same direction. So I watch them on how things affect them. And so, can you imagine just 200 light years out? Like when you think about like Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is something like, I think Betelgeuse is, what is it, 10,000 light years away, and it's like the closest quasar sun to us or something like that, and that's like incredibly far away. So anyway, this physicist put out this thing about Planet 9 or Planet X is really a brown dwarf in an elliptical orbit, and that's and he put the calculation of how big it could be, and it's about in between Saturn and Jupiter in size. So it's perfect. And it's probably about 200. It could be. It's not 200 light years away, but it could be like a light year away. It could be that far out in its elliptical orbit, and it's really hard to spot. So, would you believe that? Anyway, that's the end of the science side of Doc's webinar. Looks like, anybody want to see anything? I'll stick around for a few more minutes if anybody wants to see any particular chart, and we'll put it up there. And if not, I'm going to sign off. But I'll wait for another minute, and we'll take a quick look at, what else we'll look at? Let's go take a look at the metals. And if anybody wants to see something, we'll take a look at it. Because we got rambling on, science and Planet X. There's gold. You can see gold's holding up pretty well in here. It's actually, now this week, we're flirting with the weekly buy. Good. Because silver did it last week. Silver closed in the weekly buy. Now this week, we're flirting with it in gold. It would be nice. And Robin and I were talking about, we're looking for strength in the metals, and we're not getting it. You can see gold, here's silver. Silver did close in a weekly buy last week. And you can see silver is also down a little bit today from it. And it's trying to go back into a weekly sell, which is not the best thing here. We'll see. See if this does a dip, goes into a sell, and then goes back into the daily buy, and then see if the weekly turns back up again. It's right on the edge of being in a weekly sell again. So if that happens, maybe we're going to see some strength in the metals market. Trust me, traders, it's not the cryptos. Daniel! I was mentioning you about 20 minutes ago. You're late. Oh, you just missed me ramble about Planet X and Planet 9. And I just got censured by Facebook over it. Some physicists put out an interesting paper on the wobble that we have in our solar system on the planets, kind of justifying that there should be another one around here somewhere. And and we never can find it. Remember, people think it's like behind the sun and there's another Earth. They come up with all these crazy things. There's movies made about it. So, yeah, we'll catch you guys later on. All right, nobody wants to see anything. Doc is out. We will catch you later. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Catch you tomorrow.